So its management has never been under any government. Market is always exclusive. Anybody that attacks market, that person is against Biafra. Anybody that attacks market is against Africa and is against Jesus Christ. Anybody that attacks Igbo market, which is our traditional way of, exchanging our pleasantries, trade by barter, inclusive, is against our lives. In the government of the modern era does not start from market. It started from elsewhere, not from the market. Market is something very sacrosanct. It has to do with our traditional godly way. Eke nkwo afo orie. Am I speaking your mind, my people? What does this 4 cardinal point means in science and technology? The 4 powers where the scientists do climb upon. 4 cardinal points. 4 powers in the universe. Eke nkwo afo orie. In our own cosmology, we call it market days, which is the day that we used to do the function of our gods, of our chi. Then the remaining 2 days were for resting. 4 plus 2 is equals to 6, mathematically speaking. Our people should know that anybody that goes against the market, Igbo market, that person may ostracize. According English, in English, so to ostracize. I don't want an English here, but is anybody that understood the English and speaking now? What is the meaning of to ostracize somebody? What does it mean in a better English language? Can anybody explain it to me now? Because if somebody is being ostracized, it means that the person went against Eke Nkwo Afo and Orie. Can anybody explain in a better language, please? I hear the mic now.
Outcast. Am I coming out?
Please, for orderliness, let Solomon, can you go ahead? I'm not with my reading glass. Solomon, go ahead.
An outcast is the person of the side. Am I coming out well?
Yes. You said outcast. Yes, that is outcast. What does it mean in a general language, in Igbo or general language, both in English and Igbo?
They may call it Oru or Osu.
Thank you. You can mute your mic, Mr. Solomon. And ostracize somebody means illegitimate person. In 21st century, it means somebody that has violated a punishable human being, somebody that is to be punished, which means somebody that goes against Eke Nkwo Afo Orie. And again, another question I want to ask our people is, on the Shame market, what day was it being established? Does it fall in any of these 4 market days in our Igbo cosmology? It's a question. On the Shaman market, does it fall in any of the market days? And 2, are the Igbos?
Can I talk?
Go ahead.
On the market, likewise, one new. So, and the market is am I communicating?
Yes, you have. Yes, you can mute your mic. You have really answered, which means if on the Chaman market really falls in one of the 4 cosmic powers you have in Igbo, Eke Nkwo Afo Orie, which means anybody that closes that market forcefully has violated the Igbo spirit, the spirit of Biafra land. He has violated that spirit of Igbo land, and the gods must ostracize that person. And those Igwes,
good morning,
any Akajiofo in Igbo land should stand up on the feet and go for and call on the names of the gods, Eke, Unko, Afo, and Orie, against Soludo, who is against the people, because both the god of the Biafra and the god of Igbo people are against such behavior. Even the God of the law is against such behavior of a political servant or public servant going against the wish of the people, because it's the wish of the people on the marketers to demand for the release of their brother and their leader, NNAMDI KANU, who is at the site of the whole law and the site of international community and the site of the whole Igbo people and the Biafran people and the black race, has been illegally detained and punished because he's defending his people. And response, his people said, we must sit at home so that those that heard him will know that he is fighting for us. And Soludo went and forcefully closed their market. So that is the sobriety of what happened. And our people should stand on that. This is the popular stay of execution. The people's stay of execution means that what the people says become the law, not what the politicians say. Politicians are minuscule in number, meaning that they are minimum in number. The minimum should not control the maximum. A situation whereby minimum controls the maximum is by the time the minimums are delegates that are doing the exactitude of the heart of the majority. But a situation whereby the minority like Soludo and co are punishing the people, and the people are not comfortable with that, and they're expressing their will through protest or sit at home. It means that the Soludo is the wrong person. So he's wrong before the law and before the cosmic power, the cosmology of Igbo, and before the people that are called the Biafrans and the Igbo people. So because of that, our people and the market leaders must not listen to Soludo. They must not listen to him, because then him inviting them to go to ICC, meaning International Conference Center in Oka, Anambra State, means that he has understood that he was wrong. He is wrong. But he wants to put these people into their trap, into political trap, as he has earlier trapped other politicians like the Igwes, whom before were crowned through Akajioko and through the Nze and others. But today, these politicians has trapped them, thereby making them to come to government house. Then they will start giving them some gift, just like what the colonial master did during the time of colony in 1492s. And especially after 1808, these people use this to introduce the indirect ruling system and the warrants chieftaincy system. So now it is our own duty to do what? To tell them that that thing that they know, we know it more than them by resisting them. Don't wait for the vegetables to come and tell you that Biafra has come. Listen to the spirit of gods of Biafra that have formed BRGE through NNAMDI KANU, through Ojukwu, through Simon Ekpa, and through Ogechukwu NKERE, his excellencies, their excellencies. And do the necessary thing, because Donald Trump, taking into what is happening there, told the Iranians, continue resisting the government of Iran, because Iran was a Christian state, just like Turkey was Christian. All of them will fail, because Christianity is similar to our own indigenous way of worshiping God and lifestyle. Arab Muslim is a occultic organization. That's why Muhammad didn't know where he was going, according to Quran, chapter 1, from verse 1 to 19. And other chapters. He didn't know where he was.
They are not hearing you again. Oh, are you guys hearing them? We will refresh.
Don't cry. Knowing that he has validated you. Leave him to close the home market. The next thing is that you people have to go back to your tradition and do that thing that your forefathers used to do. When they naturally work by nine, Mandi Igbo, Mandi Plateau State, Mandi Benue. By the time she the hammer, Mandi former Kogi State, in the Egede, they unitedly fought against this the people that advanced to establish the caliphate in Benue State, because the first caliphate that they established was called the Caliphate of the North. After conquering the former Gobe was the place they renamed as Sokoto. Sokoto was indigenous people, because when we say Hausa is part of the West African indigenous West African region. Indigenous people of Africa. Hausas are included. Not Fulani. Fulani is the Mujahids, people that the Ottoman Ottoman Empire used to conquer people, to conquer Egypt. And the Fulani people are those people that are written in the Bible, the book of Genesis chapter 12, verse 12 and downwards, where Abraham and Lot tried to settle their problem because of their headsmen. It is written in the Bible. When you read the Bible in Genesis from chapter 12, verse 12, you see when Abraham and Lot had problem, and they understood, Abraham especially, understood that the problem was being caused by their headsmen. So these are the genesis of the genealogy of the Fulani people. And when the Ottoman Empire, we are advancing to conquer Mecca, to conquer Persia also. Persia is the Iran today that you have. They make use of these headsmen, and they use them as fighters, foreign fighters, to conquer Mecca, that was called Medina, and later they located to Afghanistan, and from Afghanistan they went to Egypt around 290 after the death of Christ. Then from Egypt they went to the Libya, Sri Lanka, and Tripolitania. That was Christian place. Then from there they went to South and Northern Sudan, where they established the first caliphate in Africa. And from there, they went to the place you call Nigeria before 1804. So that is what is there. So our people should wake up, and use this opportunity, because when you know the story, the rest is very, very riant, not inexplicable. Do not fight, do not worry because they have closed your shop. What you need to do is to be consistent. You go back to what that technology that our forefathers used before. When they know that this person is enemy, if you are able to establish that Soludo and the Zulu government is enemy, is inimical, is against you, you have to diverse a strategy to submerge that government that is against you. And that is what Americans need now. Because if we not shake body, America will say, maybe we like our oppressors. That's why we not the shake body. That is the language. That's why America is
mind them. Shake body.
People, Iran people continue upon the death toll of above 5,000. He said continue because la forma regimis mutata next mutatur ipsos civitatis. It is the faculty, is the power, the imprimatur of the people to remove their leaders from that place. If they did not challenge their leaders, then the world will believe that they like that style. Remember that the Islamic countries, okay? America cannot just go and fight like that. He fights in soccer to the people, to the reaction of the people. If people are only thinking about the business they have in Chanjamin market, or in a market, or in a market, or any cross river, or anywhere we have market in a Kafanchan, and we're not thinking about the survival of our fetus, of our future and unborn children. We are not seeing the sovereignty of the reason why we should have our independence state. America will not come. They will say these people are not serious, because the story of nationhood and authority in modernism started from people sacrificing their life, like the likes of George Washington, Oliver Cromwell, Garibaldi, and the host of them, according to different countries. So our people, if they know this, the solution is very, very near. Sorry for taking most of your time. Let us pass the mic. Thank you very much, our sister with electric light and the Solomon and everybody has spoken so far. Let us also return the mic to Mazi Emeka Socrates, our intellectual. You have the mic, sir. Can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you. I think I'm not seeing her again here, Sister Stella. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I'm here at home and I can see what is happening. If I wish to see live, just a few minutes, I'll get there. I have so much, but let us concentrate on what you are talking about. Solidly behind the Onitsha market, men and women, and whose shops are unlawfully closed. One thing we know is that these markets, even when they are built by the government, the individuals actually purchase them. It's not as if they build them and give them free to the individuals. They sell them sometimes 50,000 and 50 million and all that. Hope Uzodinma built the one at Umuaka, Umuaka Olo there. And I think he sold those shops for, each one of them was between 20 million and all that. So, and why I'm talking about this is because there is this idiot I watch on TV, one of those ones you call politicians, a complete idiot. And he was saying that the traders were more like tenants and that they went and put up a law 2024, and they said, and which gave the conditions under which you could operate in their market and all that. You see, that's the example that shows you the quality of people we have now within in government. There is a difference really between those who are Igbo leaders and these idiots who are called leaders in the Nigerian sense. I keep telling them that being a politician, be you a governor, minister, or what, within this Nigerian space and operating within the Nigerian government doesn't make you an Igbo leader. You are a Nigerian leader overseeing what Nigeria wishes to see, or whatever Nigeria has over Igbo land. It doesn't make the person an Igbo leader, because the Igbo's government, which we know, our cultural government, is not involved in the Nigerian affairs. And even our independence to have a government of our own is not right now feasible, and that's what we are fighting for through the BRGIE. So having an idiot like that claiming that they have the right to determine how to run the market because they built it shows the sort of absolute numbskulls that we have in Nigeria, because Nigeria itself is a place of numbskulls. You can't have reasonable people in this kind of setting you call government in Nigeria. Now, given that it's the same sort of arrangement that exists all over, even in Lagos, you build a market, and then they sell it to people. They sell them outright. Sometimes they give the market, they sell the market for a period of, let me see, sometimes they can call it lease and all that. So the people are in absolute control. You can't turn back after selling the shops to them for 20, 30, 40, 50 million, then to think you could turn back and then put conditions for operating in something that the person has actually paid outright for that property. It shows we don't, it just shows what Nigeria is a place of absolute idiocy. You can't have common sense there, here rather. There is no common sense here. You build the market quite well, yes, but you sold it. And so how can you come back and claim to have authority to determine when it is open and when it closed? When you have sold it, the people have bought it. So I saw a clip of that on video. Maybe one of the idiots there, it could be a rep or it could be anything. Those empty heads that call themselves lawyers, it was called. And somebody was interviewing him, and he said they put up a law in 2024, and that the traders don't have the right to determine whether to open up because the government told them that this is the way you have to open the shop. If you are not ready to abide by the rule of prevalent in our property, you can leave and go out of it. That's absolute nonsense. That shows he is an idiot, a stupid person, because they have sold the shop. I have not seen anywhere where the government built a set of shops or a market and gave them free to the people to operate, or gave them to the people to pay on a monthly basis or even a yearly basis. That is number one. So unless somebody knows anything, which I'm also trying to clarify, if those people are on monthly rentage, then of course you can say, yeah, you are on rent and then you have to do this and that. But even that doesn't still, you will still be infringing on the person's rights when it comes to opening and not opening. You can give the person condition for paying electricity bill, for keeping the place clean and all that. But as for how to run it, once somebody has paid for something, he takes custody of that until the time that the cost that he has incurred in paying you is elapsed. So that's what we have. Now, this also will extend to the beast himself, you are calling Soludo. You say, yes, he was in UNN, I think he was in statistics department or so, a professor and all that. He has just shown us what I have been saying. And when I talk, some people say, oh, talking about grammar. Look, there is no other way I can speak, because a language I've been speaking for 60-something years, I can speak in a way maybe some people who have not been using this language may think that, okay, it's trying to look for how to look sophisticated. There is no way. Well, 60-something years is not 60 days. But that's why some time ago I did say I was trying to distinguish between intelligence and wisdom. And when I talk about these things, I am only trying to clarify so that each time when we are talking about anything, we understand where we are coming from. This beast they are calling Soludo has shown us the difference between being intelligent and being a wise person. They are two different things. In fact, being intelligent and being a resourceful thinker, that means you can think. They normally use a word which Yorubas, they like to call us things, thinking out of the box. But it's resourceful thinking in that you can use the portion of your brain that is called the reasoning, because there are still many portions of the brain. This portion is called the reasoning. That is the one with which you reason out things. And I said, being intelligent, like MID, it comes from your own end there. Intel simply means information. That's what it is, information. You take information. So when somebody is intelligent, it means he's able to take information and be able to produce it. Some people say to be able to use it, but it's not necessarily so, because to use it is the reasoning part of it, and it's not really a very big and integral part of intelligence. Intelligence is about information. Intel is information. Intelligence is about information. So you need that. You gather information. If you adhere strictly to what the lecturer wants, if you follow all his assignments, if he gives you examples and you read his book, you bury yourself in the books, you can pass exams and you'll be adjudged to be intelligent. Then it will look like the person is probably the one that has, let me say, human sense more than the rest of the people. But that is not true. It's not intelligence, really. You are just being able to replicate, produce back to the lecturer, much more when that academic environment also is one that is almost repetitive, and there are so many lazy people who repeat questions, who repeat the lectures and that. So it's possible for somebody who is actually not intelligent, so to speak. That is, when I say intelligent, being able to gather information and repeat it back or produce it back, but being able to gauge it out simply because he's able to memorize and pour it back again to come out with first class, even if there's anything better than first class, minus 1 or 2 or 3 to make it better. But the person is not really intelligent. This beast that is in the Anambra State Government House now, they are calling Soludo, since he got into power, he has exposed to people to the quality of who is a professor who is not in Nigeria. When he was central bank governor, people thought he was actually somebody. But now it's very, very clear that he is not a wise person, and he is not a thinking partner, not a resourceful thinker. And his reasoning is the poorest of all. That again, his delinquency as an individual has shown itself in his son, the son that he has. And probably Peter Shaw sang a song in the past, Legalize It. The first time, not even this time, when I started hearing this Soludo idiot, I went back and played Peter Tosh's song about legalize it. You know, this passionate appeal Peter Tosh expressed in that music, legalize it, and he was asking that the government should legalize marijuana so that he will advertise it. And he was giving reasons that lecturers take it, doctors take it, everybody takes it. So this idiot of a man, is showing me that really some lecturers, students take these cocaines and all these drugs and use them to pass exams, because he's shown that he is an absolute idiot. He has no brain at all. Everything he has done is wrong. You can't have somebody who says he is an academician, and then he comes out and behaving like a tout. Then it simply means that his reading and all those things he did were with the help of maybe marijuana or something else. He takes cannabis. And his son is showing that they are all addicts in that very family. So I think he got whatever educational qualification he got by taking that. Somebody also told me a few months ago, 2-3 months ago, that look, the level of this drug addiction in Nigeria has increased. That even girls take it. Sometimes you would think you are taking a girl out and she will tell you she needs to take cannabis before she could eat. And one boy now wrote something somewhere. He was saying, where are we going to get the wives now? When it had gotten to that extent. So you see, that idiot, I believe he and his son are into taking weeds. And if somebody thinks I am joking, take the case of NNAMDI. You can also see that taking of those things, those drugs, hard drugs, is very common in NNAMDI family, and nobody's talking about it. Not the NAFDAC, not the police, nobody's talking about it. But they themselves have said that all of them are into drugs, that they take the thing like drinking water or eating granite. So this idiot called, he's not truly, as far as I'm concerned, even ordinarily being intelligent, he is not a resourceful thinker and reasoner. that shows the quality of the brain of man. And to make it worse, he's not a wise person. He has shown it since he got into that place. I also saw a clip where Z00 was saying, well, if these people didn't get power, you would never know whether they're actually intelligent or not. So he was corroborating what I have always said. Wisdom and intelligence, they are not the same. And then I'm adding this one, a resourceful thinker, somebody with the quality to reason, with that portion of the brain that is called reason. That is what defines the actual level of intelligence. He is not. How can you be intelligent now and the first thing you do is to violate laws? If you're an intelligent person, if you're a lecturer, you should be a refined human being. But he behaves like tout. He goes after native doctors. He goes after market women. He goes after traders. And he does these things without any form of finesse or anything that shows he has quality of mind. Where have you seen people pursuing native doctors all over the place? It's very senseless. What have you got to do with native doctors and religious whatever? Then you come tomorrow, it's you and market women. And he has not actually done anything in that state. Unfortunately, our people too seem not to know what to do. This very action he has taken is actually of advantage. Yes, I saw them the first day seeming to do what they are actually supposed to do. Now, you, Z00, have been telling us that you stopped sit at home. There is no longer sit at home. Fine. You told us the people have scattered and not. So which sit at home now are you fighting against? If you said you told us you stopped sit at home, so which one are you now fighting against now? And all those animals that say, oh, the peace, quietness, tranquility have returned to the southeast, sitting on the KANU, Simon Ekpa were put away. Good. So which sit at home are you now fighting against that has even caused the highest upheaval now? Since you said you were having, which sit at home? You told us that sit at home had stopped. Which one is this one now, if it had actually stopped? One animal that is in Arise TV, the one the Nigerian youth like praising, that the other one called, they are all beasts all over the place. None of them has common sense. They call him Rufai. And he was saying, yeah, Z00 should provide a cover, police and that these people, they come sporadically and they shoot sporadically. Who is shooting sporadically? The people you are talking about, you locked their shops. You heard them singing, holy, holy, NNAMDI KANU is another champion. You heard them singing about Biafra. Does that tell you that the people were forced? Does that tell you they were forced? If they were forced now, they will never mention NNAMDI KANU there. But you saw that when you locked their shop, they were telling you that NNAMDI KANU is a savior, telling you that the very reason which those who are pursuing the cause of Biafra are telling you is the reason why they are sitting at home. Those people in the market are telling you that this is why they are sitting down. So who is now going to shoot sporadically? Because they want to cover it. They want to turn it upside down. He now said that the people were afraid of being shot. Being shot, afraid of being shot, but they were singing about the very people you say, they are praising the very people you say want to shoot them. How can somebody sing praises of the person you say he wants to shoot them? Because when you say people want to shoot, that is IPOB now or Biafra Republic government or anybody asking for Biafra. But these people went beyond the NNAMDI KANU again. They started singing about Biafra itself. Hundreds of thousands of people in the street singing about Biafra, singing about NNAMDI KANU, and you say they are going to shoot already. You say they were forced. So they were also forced to sing. These animals, you know, they just throw these words in the air, expecting people, and people get also confused with them. These are not things to talk about. They're very, very simple things. Our people now should have taken, and they should take the advantage of that now. Just like they did from the first day, not to go and start crying or doing anything. First, they should put up a legal battle against it. if you have bought shop with even 10 naira, because when they build these shops, they normally sell them to the people. The people pay hundreds, tens of millions, scores of millions to buy the market. So you can't go and lock it up. Even if there are those that are on rent, you can't get, look, when I rent a house or somebody rents your house, you can't be telling that person when to open the door and go inside or whether to come out by 6 o'clock. No, it's not in any way within the tenancy. How much more when you have built it and the person has paid millions to buy it? You are not telling the person when to open that. You put up a law in this thing. You are not telling him if he doesn't want, he should leave. Unless you are giving it to the person free. This is the fact. Now that he has committed this blunder, our people should use it the more to now let the world that is watching know that, yes, we are doing this because of Biafra. We are doing it because of NNAMDI KANU. They should now use this opportunity to even amplify their demand for Biafra, that this is why. So he has made a technical mistake which people should use. He has made a technical mistake. Again, because he is not truly an intelligent person, he is a parrot. And I have been saying within you people for so many years now, these Nigerian educated people are mere parrots. The sort of education they get is not one that is resourceful. It is just a question. You know, when have you heard of the case where there was this case, a marriage was broken by a parrot. A parrot broke a marriage of over 30 years because this man used to go to work. When he goes to work, another man will sneak in, and the man will greet the wife in a funny manner, and the wife will reply. So one day, the man came back, and the parrot was repeating that thing, did it 2 or 3 days, and the man said, this parrot must be repeating something he had been hearing in his house. So the man stayed back one day, tricked the wife, and when he was watching, the man came now and greeted the wife, and the wife repeated. So the man learned that was what the parrot had been doing. So these parrots, they call educated people or professor or whatever in Nigeria, they just take information. They don't, and they regurgitate a little bit, hold it there, and then they throw it out. They, in terms of what they have, even that thing they were taught, they cannot use it. That's why they do not produce anything after the education. Because they just take in like parrot, throw out like parrots. You will ask him now, okay, how do you see the incident that is happening in Nigeria? He can't tell you anything. He will start going to, oh, that's what happened in Kenya in 19so. It happened in India, and that's what George Washington said. That's what this is just what their education is about. It's about going to recite those things they have read. They don't really have brains. Somebody who is educated wouldn't make this mistake, because this is a tool for our people now to use it to project Biafra even more, both internationally and even at the home front. So for the man crying, I don't know, yes, people do have different conditions around there. Maybe he has not eaten or something like that, and then he's crying for whatever, or maybe he was just making a joke out of it. But now that he has made the mistake, it's for people to now use that opinion and tell them, look, like they were doing the other day, NNAMDI KANU is another savior, Simon Ekpa is another savior, Biafra or nothing. Then if it is carried out all over the Igbo land and all over Biafra land, then he will see that he has actually made the worst mistake. We should feed on that and not him feeding on us. The action he has taken is something we should feed on. Use it now and project Biafra on it. So the question of anybody is using force or this or that will die once and for all. What he has provided is an opportunity to prove that this thing was not forced. And the first day I saw them trooping out in their hundreds of thousands of like that, and they were singing, and another time they were singing songs of Biafra. That is what should happen, not only in Onitsha. It should happen in Lewe, it should happen in Oka, it should happen in Imo State, Abia State, and all over the place. Then all the argument about it's forced will end. That will be the end of it. He has given us something to feed on. And we should feed on that. That's what I will ask you, I will request you to do. And of course, I do make calls and tell our people, this is a mistake we should feed on. It's like somebody making a bypass to his goalkeeper and he passed it to the other opponent. You just tap it inside the net. He has provided the opportunity for the Biafran Republic government in Israel and all to use against them. That's what he has done. For now, just to recap, he is not an intelligent man. He led by taking cannabis. His son has proven that he did use cannabis to get whatever he did. In fact, there was a time when he was that central bank governor, he said he wanted to forcefully make the naira and the dollar to be equal. And they asked him a simple question. He was not able to answer it. Just a technical question. He wasn't able to answer. So he's proving to us again, he is not an intelligent man. He is a parrot. He is this kind of stereotyped learner. You give them something, they do the handwork well, they follow the homework well, they follow the past questions, and they are able to pass exam. But actually, being a resourceful thinker with the reasoning in the mind, he is not. Being a wise person, he is not. I'm not here, I won't talk about wisdom, but wisdom is entirely a different thing. The bit I can talk about it is, the difference between them is, wisdom doesn't need information to think, to reason, and to produce. Intelligence is about getting information, using it or producing it. But in wisdom, you don't take in information. It is part of the person's reasoning, and it brings them. That's why when you go to the Bible, he said there is a chapter, I think whether 16 or 32, in the book of Proverbs, where it was praising wisdom. And he said that God had to have wisdom first before he could create the world. If God didn't have wisdom, he wouldn't have been able to create the world, because God didn't get information from anywhere. He didn't take learning from anywhere. He had to use wisdom. So it is inbuilt, it is in the person. This man is not a wise man. He is bankrupt in terms of wisdom. Even in intelligence, I have told you, he is also inadequate in that area. He probably used cannabis following the lecturer to pass the exam. To Biafrans, I will say this, because I have always said it, that the Fulani whore that came to cause confusion and her urchins, that all they have been doing is just to hang around and hope that one day Biafra will come and then they will become one of the parties that we are fighting for Biafra, and they will be called around the table and to participate in the discussion. This is their goal. They know they lost it. They know they don't have anything to lay claim on with regards to being the people that have propelling the cause of Biafra, but they just want to hang in there. And I know that so many people, those ones who used to also go back to their hole, they say they were walking on the ground and they were under the seas and they were all there. Anytime that NNAMDI KANU had a court case, they would come out and start putting Simon Ekpa, a goat with Simon Ekpa, say the fish with Simon Ekpa, somebody on a boat with Simon Ekpa's body. You see, those ones are now arising because they are hearing that, okay, Biafra is now at the forefront somewhere in the US. But I want to ask Biafrans, if there be those who are listening or somewhere and those who are here, help me ask these people. Because I know that once NNAMDI KANU was kidnapped and Simon was called by some people, they said they wanted to interview him, all of us screamed and said he should not go anywhere. And I believe he adhered, and because of that, he reduced his traveling out to some places because of the way Nigeria is. So I now want to ask Nigerians, Biafra, sorry, please okay, since Simon was in Finland and was doing all the job, yes, he was the leader and he was giving directives and contributing a lot when there was any kind of these cabinet meetings and all that. He was giving the direction that he should go. Yes, we admire his job. He is the leader, yes. But I want to ask, who has it been that all the time this person has been doing the work in the United States? Go and meet these people. Go to this office and register this. Even if all those things came from Simon, who has it been that has been making that move? Who is it that is registered in the US as the resident president of Biafra Republic government in exile? Which one of these, you can call them institutions or government, is it that the United States Law Department or Legal Department knows to be the one pursuing the cause of Biafra and recognizes? And can that be duplicated? Number one, once they have recognized BLGIE as the only body that is fighting the cause of Biafra in US, it cannot be given to another person. So it's BLGIE only. Number two, the person registered there as the resident president is the current prime minister. Number three, as far as I know, this has been the link between the Biafra Republic government exile, whatever intentions, errands, and whatever it takes to do in the US, it's been this man, the current prime minister, NKERE. So those who think and look at him as small should know that this man, you owe him a lot. There is never a time when you can say, oh, he was not there, he just latched on something. The moves that are there in the US, he is the one that has made it. He could be sent, mandated, enabled, but he has been the person doing this. Lest anybody thinks that, okay, he is less in any way he should be considered less important or to have done less in any way. If that person wants to think about him that way, tell me who has been running the errands in the US. Has Simon been going to the US every day? Tell me now, how many times you know that Simon went to the US and he met this person, he met that person, and he met that person? Tell me why his name is not the one that is registered as the resident president. How do you think now that this person is small? When he has been the person at the epic center of all the struggle, doing it, whether he's mandated, enabled, detailed, or whatever, he has been the one doing it. And you have to accord him his due respect and regard and give him that status. I don't want to talk about my profession, but you'll be saying mechanic, let me tell you. Mechanic is not just somebody you can consider like that. That is the person that has learned a trade. He has learned for 4 or 5 years. Okay, maybe I will say this. I train them. So when you train one and he becomes a master, that person is equivalent to somebody with a degree. Forget about the English. Let me tell you, one day I was also sitting down and discussing with somebody else about these, our traders in the market. Let me say, now we even have graduates that most of them, did you hear about the burn in the house, the burnt in Lagos? All those people boys that were burnt, were they not, how many, didn't you see that they were all graduates? Leave that aside, but I'm talking about the one that leaves secondary school and goes to learning trade. How long does he learn the trade? Sometimes he puts in 4 and 5 years. How long do you go to the university to learn? Is it not 4 and 5 years? The same way you are learning that, the same way this person is learning. Before you come, the person is already an entrepreneur, is capable of doing anything. That's why you see a lot of them performing. And some of us, or most of us, including these idiots that I'm talking about, don't have even brain to even rule a small state. But those people, they are entrepreneurs. They know how to handle and manage your situation, manage people, manage businesses, and they can make them work. But the idiot that has been in the lecturer, he's been doing something, using cannabis to pass exams, is now misbehaving. He's behaving like a tout under Oshodi Bridge here. So you don't have to look down. Think about it. Tell me how many times the Fulani whore went to, from the beginning, even when Simon was out, and he was the one she was the one in the United States. Tell me that. When NNAMDI KANU was also pursuing the cause, he was still free. How far did he go? Bruce Fine. The highest Bruce Fine did was Bruce Fine took MNK to attend Trump's rally. That was there, and we were celebrating it that time. Just to attend the rally, political rally. But today, you see BLGIE, and you see that man going to sit down with Ted Cruz, Riley Moore, and with all these people, and then able to sit down there and hold a conference, and you are looking down on this person. You don't know this person has contributed more than most. To attend Trump's rally is a small thing, but then to go for Trump's inauguration, which one are you going to rank higher? Because idiots are waiting now. Well, listen, they will say, oh, this other person fought. This other person was there. I'm telling you who fought. That's why I want you to know that. Who is it that has been there in that United States, in their assembly, in their Congress, and in all those? Who has been the one that registered the LGI? Which group, which government has it been that the United States of America know as the one fighting? Because idiots are waiting around. Vultures. When the animal has been killed, they just go and perch and start eating the carcass and eating the worms that are there. That's what they are waiting for. I want to stop there for now. You must give that guy his respect. He has been there. He has been the one running it, mandated, enabled, and all that. But he has been at the heart of it. And when Biafra Republic government in exile thought about it, there was a confusion because the whore and her urchins were causing problems. I can tell you, on this platform, I also suggested it. Take the oldest person in the cabinet. Let that person write a letter summoning an election. Take a an assistant, or what do you call the acting prime minister. If the incumbent is not able to come out after a short while, what do? You give him some more time. If after that, you give him, if after that it doesn't happen, you have to then confirm the appointment of the acting as the real prime minister. This is perfect. It has been done and it is perfect. That is how it has to be done. So for those writing and now trying to take care of it, you take advantage of that situation. Oh, he now imposed. No. You cannot leave a vacant post without the relevant authority and power to be bestowed on some substantive candidate for that to move this thing forward. And I congratulate the Biafra Republic government in exile for conducting that election and ratifying of confirming his appointment. Thank you very much. I stop here. I didn't intend to talk. BLGI, thank you. I respect you. That's why I picked the mic. Thank you very much. I stop here for now. I mean, MID bricks.
There were, there were, you know, when that endeavor goes to premise our Emeka Socrates, you know, we are habitually in being in class. I don't know accusing the man in class. Then we still come back to learn. We are habitual. That's why each time the Chukwu Okike Abiyama, the Almighty Zarathustra, Jesus Christ, God, Chineke, give us time to launch space. We always allow people to express themselves, because when people express themselves, especially in this crucial matter, those who didn't, who are yet to learn, will learn. And two, if you're willing to give your, philosophical contribution or contribution under Omenala, or your thought, then you have the opportunity to do that. Because here, you are welcome, because we are talking about what is happening, the unfortunate thing that is happening against us. How can Igbo be behaving like Usoludo, like Omahe, like Nkozon in Enugu State, nke kakwa mma o, bụkwa nke anọ na Abia State, but makwa na ha nọ na zoo. None of them are free, but at least, at all, it is so unfortunate that our brothers and sisters will not be understanding the game, what is happening in Nigeria. They're in Nigeria, but they don't understand Nigerian politics. If not, it's very simple. What are they not? You have to understand the geography. Geography is 4 cardinal points: north, south, east, and west. And that is called Nigeria, right? Forget about the British, wrong amalgamation, but what are the powers holding that country? There was a time it was the East. Firstly, it was the East in terms of, Western power, Western civilization. It was the East. From the East, it was located to the West. From the West, before you know it, boom, during the Babangida regime, when Niger State. From there, Fulanization. Without our people knowing, without the Easterners and the Middle Belters knowing, Fulanization. I have jumped the time of the Civil War or the genocide. I jumped over to the time of Babangida. There was something that happened during the time of Babangida. That mechanism that made the former capital, Lagos, to be taken to Niger State, the place you call Abuja now. That is the enigma. And within this time, there is something that happened. The construction of the Aso Villa. I was in secondary school. Before Babangida did, there was something he did. There was an agreement he made with some Arabic country. What is that thing called? What is that thing called? He made an agreement with Arabic country. Organization for Islamic Cooperation. That was what it was called. Before it was called Organization of Islamic Countries. Yes, OIC. It was Babangida that did that thing. But our people, many of them were ignorant about this, especially those that were not into what is happening in the military or in the politics. At that time, we don't talk about politics, talk about military regime. People did not understand what was going on. That is what that predicted what is happening today. And that thing affected, they went and took that thing into the so-called 1919, before 1999 constitution. There was another constitution. Emeka Socrates, can you remember me the first republic constitution, the sovereignty of the first republic constitution, or the second republic constitution, when you had Alhaji Shehu Shagari?
That's definitely 78, 79, because that election was conducted and then the government started in 1979. Obasanjo entered in 1977 and rushed quickly 2 years. He conducted this constitutional review, and 2 years he just dumped the thing again and gave it to House, because even when he was given the power, he was shaking. His mouth, the whole of his body, everything was shaking. He was so scared about this Hausa and Fulani people. So he went and dumped the power with
Oh, I can no longer hear you. I can no longer hear you. Okay. All these things are the things that our people need to understand. I know that after 1979, there was this time of Babangida. Okay. So these people started because already the Biafran war stopped in 1970. That gap between 1970 and 1979, there was something going on. And after that period, they wanted to have, civilian government. After the creation of the 12 states in Nigeria, which means that they have changed the regional system into invention of 12 states. Exactly, that was something that happened during that time. That was when Islamic people started having interest into our land. The Caliphate people for the second time. Now, they perfected that during the time of Babangida. After they removed the civil government, which was led by Shehu Shagari, and the cohorts. Then Buhari came and scattered everything. Then Babangida perfected exactly the OIC in 1989. That is the Abuja Declaration. Babangida perfected that. Before you talk about Abacha period, that was to make Nigeria a principal participant or candidate to OIC. And there were economic terms embedded in that accord. All these things, our people need to know it. People that are carrying Christianity over their head, they're supposed to know this. They have to make research. Odona time adrose. To know exactly the way the Northerners maneuvered and handed Nigeria over to Islam without people knowing. Today, are we talking about Islam? They have entered into the Kumum. Most of the contracts that they are building today, that they are doing, they are awarding today, where does it, the language, if they are building signboard for contract, what do you see at the end of that signboard? You see SUKUK, Sukuk. What does it mean? It means it is Islamic bank that funded the contract. And the same meaning has to do with Ruga. Ruga in Fulani language, but Sukuk in Ulama and Baza language of Islamic Shia system. And that is the same ignorance that makes people not to understand what Togechukwu NKERE did, or to understand even what NNAMDI KANU meant by that he needed 100 men. And he has watched, and he didn't see even up to 15 men, meaning people that understood all these things we're talking about, that understood the steps needed for us to be recognized, to have that our freedom. Now, our leader NNAMDI KANU wanted the Emirates to create a government in exile. But it was hidden to the know of many people, because he saw that people surrounding him were only mundane. They were not having that spirit of total liberation. They were only interested, most of them were only interested on what they will gain. These are the likes of people that, when they remember 4-story or 5-story building they built in other lands that are not Igbo lands, they will say, let there be one Nigeria. Notwithstanding the fact that they're killing their brothers, still in that same knot. They rather choose to pay jizya tax, that is settling their killers, so that they will not attack them. Many pastors are doing it. Many of these people are doing it. Your politicians are the highest doers of this. The people you call politicians from our own side, they go patronizing this way so that they will not attack them. Instead of doing what? Recognizing that they were wrong by not understanding this geopolitics and intensify the support for the politics of the South or of the East where they come from, or the Middle Belt where they come from. But they thought that while behaving in what you call Stockholm syndrome, that should be the best approach to what is happening to them. But alas, that is never the best approach. The best approach is for us to go back to the drawing board. See that our leader, our eternal leader, Juku, has already brought up the map through which we follow to get Biafra, which is we claiming our land, we believing in ourselves, seeking for our self-determination, and also liaising with America, with the world power, which is America. Ojukwu tried it during that time, but he was sabotaged. And he passed the secret to Owazurike. That's why Owazurike used to go to America. But there was no enabling environment for them to create that government in exile. Then when NNAMDI KANU, as the then speaker under Owazurike, saw that there is no road here, he took over and went and created Indigenous People of Biafra as an organization that covers our people, international organization, and had it well registered and prepared a way for the future establishment of a government in exile that will enable us to be internationally recognized, also to have the power to be in charge of military, to possess military might, to be recognized as a military. Have you ever heard that any word blacklisted BLA as a rebel? No, because the registration of BRGIE, which was done by NKERE, gave the power to Biafran people to organize referendum, to organize political voting, and to organize self-determination army. Self-determination army means Biafra Liberation Army. That is the reason and why our Prime Minister by then, Mazi Simon Ekpa, after the launching of our charter, which was number 2, the first was the creation of BRGIE, the second was launching of the charter, the third was the launching of Biafra Liberation Army, BLA. That thing happened in 2023. And after that, our PM stood up on the pulpit and said, this charter is the open door and is the reference point from now till when we realize Biafra, we get Biafra. And after when we get Biafra, it's still the leading principle till the merger of the BRGE and the de facto government. Charter of Biafra, page 23. You will see it, you see exactly when this thing is written, where this thing is written. You know? Now, until we have our constitutional conference and determine our constitution is supposed to come now. It's supposed to come by the time we must have liberated our land from the Nigeria occupying state and have all our states, our 40 states, being governed by the Biafran governors, not the likes of Soludos, the Umahis, the Wifs, the other one is the Kobunko in Ebu State, and you know, not this people. It means by the time we must have conquered what our people supposed to have done, if not the sabotage due to what that happened to us, that happened to our PM, that we were unaware, that happened to our PM. That's why she was bragging on surrogate. Surrogate does not exist in our charter. We don't do anything that does not exist in our charter. Whatever we do is on PM Simon Ekpa. PM Simon Ekpa, our former minister, brought the charter and read it from page to page till the end. And the charter said that with the absence of our prime minister, whether for incarceration or for impeachment or for ill health or for incapacitation, is given 3 months, which is exactly 90 days, or 90 days, which is equivalent to 3 months. After which, the cabinet have to converge. The cabinet has to converge, has to meet together and do what? Elect the replacement for the continuity of the government. And that is what BRGI did. PM has no right to select somebody if he is being incarcerated and say, this is my surrogate. He doesn't have that right. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, NKERE has no right, if not that we, the cabinet members, elected him through the legal process, because our charter said that the cabinet must converge and the CRC supposed to do what? Go on to do what? Elect to proceed for an election, just like the INEC in the Zoom. You have to proceed. After that election, CRC have to go back again. His work was finished, just like when Our Lady, that Jesus, who was elected by the bridge to superintend. After she swore in our current PM now, her job is finished. She has to go back to her department. It does not mean that she will come and say, I am above the PM. Only what Imam Madabu did. Imam Madabu has no right, if we use the charter, to even accept if anybody tells him that, if anybody at all, in Briggy or anywhere, as far as BRGA is concerned, tells him, come and be in charge, he will say, no, that is not my duty. The head of military intelligence have no imprimatur to come and say, hence the prime minister is not around, is incarcerated now, this is the chief of defense has to take over. No, it is not all like that. You have to follow the process embedded in the law, that is written in the law. Legality. Legality and legality. What is wrong with Sulubat? What law says, but he doing things with African mentality, with his instincts, with Agbero style. Anybody that does things with that is outside the law doesn't know what he's doing. The law was brought so that human being will not exaggerate his ego. That is what Socrates said. Socrates that our brother is admiring so much. He says, for you to be controlled, for human being, for the activities of human being to be controlled and checkmate, there must be a parameter, a reference point, which is the law. Not in religious aspect. The parameter is God. When they say, God say, thou shalt not kill, because if you kill, you go to hell. But nobody has ever seen hell. But in terms of government and law, the law tells you, if you do this, this is your punishment. If you arrogate power to yourself without the consent of the cabinet member, you are illegal. If you usurp power that does not belong to you, that moreover belong to the people, what you are doing is null and void and has no legal effect. So kudos to those that understand. And my brother, you touched a lady, for example, that used to tie something, walking in the street of, whether it's France or Italy, saying that he's tying this one and tying the other one. Come and tie me. Tell the lady to come and tie me. For example. No. That is not the process. The process is following the law. And in our own case, when NNAMDI KANU was here, there was something he saw in Simon Ekpa. And he wanted him as the leader. IPOB modus operandi is different from the modus operandi of a government. IPOB is not a government. It's an organization that was built. And that what do you call it? IPOB was to give a bet to a government, but they didn't allow NNAMDI KANU to do that because those that were following him were very, very lukewarm. They were not having what you call stars in their heads. That's why NNAMDI KANU said, as I quote, I have not seen up to 15 men and I need 100 men. That is the proof of what I'm saying. And when Simon Ekpa showcased his talent and he said, hey, my people, listen to Simon Ekpa. He's bringing a new dimension to this awareness that we're creating. Please listen to him, hear his videos, Then he spoke and he spoke and he spoke. I don't know how to repeat people's language, unless I am reading it verbatim. So that is it under IPOB. And I said under Emisrate, he was given the head and the text to go and create that. I'm coming again. Now, there were some people NNAMDI indicated to him secretly that they're supposed to be the one to register that thing. Simon Ekpa did exactly that. After the DOS converged and fought against Mazi Simon Ekpa, by the time we made him the spokesperson, he made those arrangements and sent those people. I remember one man that is called Onyise. Onyise went and the crew members went and registered that thing. But immediately they knew what it meant. What it meant by you being the person who registered this government in exile. They stopped relating with Mazi Simon Ekpa. And they changed the meaning of that. They did not want to do exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asked them to do with that government in exile. To carry out the diplomatic representation of this struggle. They did not do it. They used it for another thing. Then Simon Ekpa tried to correct them, to ask them, how far now? Let me be this. Now, this thing where we talk, they say, your name no day here. Come out here. Do you understand what I'm saying? They disobeyed Mazi Simon Ekpa. They were just doing another thing altogether. What happened? Simon Ekpa went again and used plan B. And the plan B was, and it still remains, the Ogechukwu NKERE crew, another group. Ogechukwu NKERE went and registered exactly what Simon Ekpa did. And that is what you have today as BRGIE. Before it was called Republic of Biafra Government in Exile. It started from RBGIE. Ogechukwu NKERE was the one that went and did that thing. And also, furthermore, used his own building as the headquarters. Nobody knew this. Why I'm saying this is because of those that don't know the depth of what is happening. And they are just talking jargon. They are fighting against Jesus, their own Jesus. They are fighting against the one that did the best instead of praying for the person. Nobody knew this. Only the emissaries. Few emissaries knows this I'm talking about. Where is the headquarters of BRGIE? If Ngozi Rabezi is right, that one, I don't even want to talk about her. Because who sent her made the mistake. You should have sent an educated somebody. Not only certificate you have from zoo, and non America. And now, so they are forcing themselves to speak American jigs. Don't you? I want you to compare the way Ngozi Rabezi speaks American and the way, for example, Mr. Snow speaks American. You will see that Mr. Snow is original Biafran Americano. Then Ngozi Rabezi, the way she speaks, I don't want to ask any of you to imitate her because you cannot, because she bites her teeth, because she doesn't know where she belongs to. I don't want to, because nobody can speak exactly the way Ngozi Rabezi speaks Americano, But when Mr. Snow is speaking, or Emenike is speaking, we know that this is Americano. You get the point. So that is it. Original counterfeit is counterfeit. So Ogechukwu NKERE is supposed to be respected, just as Simon Ekpa is supposed to be respected. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be respected. Our Juku, Agbadaburu, Nkizizi, our eternal leader, is respected. All these are heroes, and all of us, those that died because of Biafra, that didn't even know anything about what we're doing, supposed to be respected. We are one people, unum populi, unum vernaculum. One people, one government. Anybody that went and created the parallel government is an educated fool. If he went to school, he's educated illiterate. Because if we go to the court, we win over them. And if they ask mercy, there is no mercy. In government in exile, you don't create two legitimate governments. No, you follow the first government that is created. Because the first government that was created became the first because, according to the will of Nnamdi Kanu, which is followed by the disciples Simon Ekpa, instructed that for America to recognize us, we need to furthermore register this at the Department of Justice of the United States of America. That is the only registered BRGIE that has that affiliation. That is the reason and why you see Ogechukwu Nkere representing us holistically at Capitol Hill and White House with the lobbyists. All these Lampedusa Mkpurumiri genitories that enter into this struggle because of our spirit of tolerance, they come out, they don't know their boundary. You came into Europe or in America or anywhere in the world, you didn't pass through Western education. You remained only in the education of the zoo. But for the fact you have internet, I'm talking generally. How much do you sell internet in Italy? There's the one you said €1. There's another one you sell 0.5 cents. There's one you say €10. You buy it, then you put it. The next thing you learn how to go to YouTube. Then you start talking something you don't know. Sorry, call is coming. At least somebody like me cannot go and challenge a mechanic because I'm not a mechanic. How I wish I was a mechanic. I cannot challenge a mechanic. I know that mechanic is a professional in his field. Good doctor cannot challenge a mechanic. If what I'm saying, if any medical doctor can come and challenge a mechanic and know how to repair a vehicle more than a mechanic, 100 million naira, I will give. Just like a mechanic cannot challenge a medical doctor, another 100 challenging a professional mechanic, it does not happen. Now, what happened under sociology is that a mechanic should know that is as important as a medical doctor, and vice versa. A medical doctor should know that he is as important as mechanic. So you bring your technique in medicine, and I bring my technique as a mechanic expert. Then the other one brings his technique or her technique as an agricultural engineer, an ambiental doctor. Then the other one, every field, as an expert in cleaning, we join it together and make sure that the reason and why we are fighting becomes realistic. Now, this Lampedusa group that doesn't know these sociological functions or what you call the ethics, KANU, Simon Ekpa, Ogechukwu Nkere, notwithstanding their level of education, they don't research to know how this thing functions. That's why they jump out fighting, and then the KANU lamented, oh my God, I don't even see up to 15 men. I don't want to take your time so much, but I wanted to tell our Socrates that he is very, very correct. We continue praying and vociferating in such a way that our goal, in this particular under this government, it is written in our charter and it is very, very correct. They should stop confusing those at home. The government is needed, and it is what you need to do. And then they cannot sanction it. Okay? And that is what you need to have so that the world will recognize you. And yes, I'm military, but without that government, the military would have been called rebels. As I said, no word has called BLE rebel. Liberation Army. It's the army of the people. It's the Liberation Army. And it is recognized by the world power. So, having said this, let me pass the mic over to, I think I'm seeing Sister Chichi here. Yes, Chichi is supposed to be a sister. If she's ready, she can take on the mic. Or if she's not ready, I can see the likes of, somebody like Obiageli. So any of the two can take the mic. Let me hear now. Thank you so much. It seems none of them are close to their mics. So let's remind our people that the caption, the main, subject matter of this today's broadcast is titled Biafrans in Homeland and Abroad are solidly beside our, dear market men and women whose shops are being unlawfully closed by the illegitimate Governor Soludo in the old Anambra State. And in addition, do not attend to any meeting by any governor, whether it's Soludo or anybody, because that is a trap. That meeting is to making you to bow to them. They are not calling that meeting so that there will be a resolution. No. They call that meeting because somebody advised him that, look, you are very wrong in what you did. Even though probably the market might have been birthed by a pseudo government, but the people occupying that place have what do you call it, CEO, certificate of ownership, and you have no right to close them because they themselves, anybody has the right to go to his private work. That is not civil service. They are not civil servants. So as for the fact that they're private, they have right to close their shop and open it any time that they want. You as government, you have no right to close them. But for you to cage them, you need to invite their leaders so that you bamboozle them, because they know that most of our people are not very wary of law. So by the time they attend that meeting, then they subject them to their will and they will use them against their people. That's why we from the military intelligence are telling them never to attend henceforth. But it's better they use the legal process. They can go to Abuja, they can go to Lagos. Through that, their chairman, instead of going to answer Soludo, go to Lagos, go to any other place. Let us put it like that. While we're waiting for government to make the final decision to do what? To sue Governor Soludo and any other governor that will mess up, because they are very stupid. They are not seeing that Sheikh Gumi say you should not touch Boko Haram. Let me tell you before I yield the mic to Sister Stella. Do you know that a whole Commodore of Nigerian Navy, in the last occasion, 2 days ago, they were doing a little occasion that has to do with national security. Many people are invited, including Sheikh Gumi. That is a Boko Haram leader was invited. This Commodore, knelt down, military man with his regalia, knelt down before Sheikh Ahmad terrorist Gumi. What does that tell you? Our own people are betraying their people. And our people leave them there because I need to gombute. Ha kwesịrị ka emeghe nwoke Igbo ji bụrụ nwoke, ihe ụmụ nwaanyị Igbo ji bụrụ ụmụ nwaanyị. Gaa n'ụgwọ odeshi, and use ordinary obejiri. Gwa ndị that they are wrong. Amadị another language ngeji gwa ndị be anyị. Just forget about egombute, because this is war. Defend yourselves through ihe ngwara unu. Odeshi is not evil. It is natural power that God gave to us. Use it and fortify yourself and deal with those bandits. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. You have the mic, Sister Stella.
Thank you. They're really bandits, you know. Like you were saying concerning Gumi. Gumi is the one ruling Nigeria. He is the very one ruling Nigeria because it has entered into his hands because Nigeria has become an Islamic country. And according to their Sharia rules and regulation, Gumi is really the one ruling. Can you hear Sultan of Sokoto's voice anymore? No, because Sheikh Gumi is even bigger than Sultan of Sokoto somehow. Because if generals and commanders in Nigerian Navy are bowing down and worshipping Gumi, who is Sultan of Sokoto then? So Gumi is the one telling the official about what to do, where to go to, and where not to go to. It's crazy what is going on. Then concerning Soludo, Soludo has failed and has failed woefully. Soludo is working directly with Sheikh Gumi. So if Soludo call you for any meeting, don't go. It's a trap. It's a real trap. Guys, you had a woman crying. How Soludo, the woman said that the sister, that the husband to the sister was one of the leaders in the market side. And then Soludo invited the man. And at the end of the day, till today, they are looking for the man. The man is nowhere to be found. Soludo care, he doesn't care. So she is begging everybody to, even was calling on VD himself to help her and go and beg Soludo to bring back the sister's husband or the friend's husband that is supposed to be one of the leaders in the main market. So if you go to Soludo's call or meeting, it's a trap. Soludo will tie you. In fact, the latest news now is that unknown gunmen, and when you hear unknown gunmen, it's still part of the Soludo gang. He's now threatening Soludo himself. In fact, they cut somebody's head, killed some people. Is either to warn Soludo or Soludo to warn Biafrans, because he has to go either ways. Who knows what? But that was how the video was at the end of the day. So what are we trying to say? Don't go to any meeting Soludo will call. Don't go. Soludo is working with Gimme. He is one and the same agenda to wipe you Igbos away, to kill you, to Islamize you or get you out of this earth. That is Soludo's mission. That is his mission. Don't go to any meeting Soludo is calling. Soludo is calling a meeting now to all the leaders, the heads in the main market. Don't go. It's a trap. You go, you don't come back. Stay on your own and organize yourselves how to defend yourselves and fight back. Soludo and Ndiakodo and the gang. You are equal to the tax, main market. After all, you have seen all your life savings and your sweat. If you will now watch like look like Lucozed, and Soludo will bring everything you have down. They have pursued you guys all the way from Lagos, Kaduna, KANU, Abuja, Alaba International, Balogu. They have pursued you down to east, and now they are now, Soludo. Soludo is for Islamic Caliphate. And we Biafrans, we Igbos, we are not Arabs. So we can't be Muslims. Islam is synonymous to Arab. MID hold this space tight, so they want to bring it down. So Islam.
We have to bring
send co-host to me or anybody, please, so that we will teach you how to refresh, sir.
No, my time is over. So any other person can start the space. My time is over. That's what happened. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, but the space is about to go down. So I don't know, Auntie Stella is kicked out already. I don't know if I can just use 1 minute since we are already wrapping up.
Go on. Let somebody start another space. It's because of the way I'm being configured.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. The only thing I want to say before this space we run out is that Biafrans, stand your ground. Do not be moved. Do not be afraid. It is our time for God to restore all those things that we have labored for, both the ones our forefathers have labored for in the past, including those that even the enemies or even you think that the cankerworm have eaten. Chukwu Okike Abiama has already restored it in the spirit, in the realm, and it is our time. This is the time for we to manifest the will of God upon the surface of this earth. So my message is that we must rise up. We must rise up and defend our land. We must rise up to support, to stand against every ploy of our enemies. We must stand and defend our land with everything in us Even though it costs us our life, we must stand to defend our land. This is the time. This is the opportunity. So to wrap it up, I must send a strong message to the Nigeria Contraction Zoo. I want them to know, and those who are supporting them, that by the time Biafra is done with Nigeria, the whole world will get to understand what Nigeria is all about. Thank you very much. I will leave the mic here.
Thank you so much. Sister Stella, do you have any other thing to say? My time is over. Sister Stella, do you have any other thing to say?
Sir, you can just go ahead and conclude. I don't know if Auntie Stella is still on the speaker because I can't see her from my end. So you can just make the final submission, or if the opportunity is given, maybe. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, dear friends, I'm seeing the hand of Stella. Dear friends, we have tried today. My time is over. Let us use the teaching today.
Auntie Stella is not on the mic. Anyway,
okay, let's use what we have so far spoken about to make the necessary amendment and watch forward. Much power and support to different liberation army defense forces, and we must support BRGIE by coming out every Saturday, every day to donate through www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org/donate. NKERE is the current Prime Minister leading us diplomatically, because as a people, if they hold any of our leader, we must replace that person in order to show them that we are a government and we are a people. Without a leader, we still go on. Thank you so much. Come here. Thank you.